My students are leaving me and I'm not entirely sure why. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Tim. I'm so grateful to all of you who were so supportive and really enjoyed last week's video all about, how and why I quit my teaching job, and I got lots of emails from you in similar situations, and I hope it provided encouragement to you and maybe some ideas as well. If you are wanting to quit your teaching job, something that I did about in 2017, so almost 7 or 8 years ago. If you didn't catch that video, it is up here. Not 7 years ago. Do the math, Tim. 6 years ago. So this week's video is all about student retention in your online teaching business because, well, I'll back up a little bit and talk about my independent teaching journey, where I started after the collapse of the Chinese companies. I took my own students on board and grew from there. I really had almost the same students ever since things started to collapse in, when was it now, 2021, so August of 2021. I always averaged between 12 and 15 students. It was a really comfortable schedule for me, and I was teaching all that I wanted to teach. And when one student would leave, it was like organically another student would refer a friend to me. So I always maintained at the most 15 students and at the least like 13 students, and I was quite happy with that. Knowing all along that this could change and that it's really important to have a funnel of new students coming into your business and leads that you're able to contact when you have openings. So my main emphasis on growing my business was really referrals. It was just a beautiful, organic way of getting new students, and I never had any trouble with it. This is something I would not recommend you do. So it's one of those do as I say, not as I do things here, because I personally didn't want to get into heavy marketing in the Chinese market. It just, I wanted to keep my teaching business really small. I've got lots of other projects going on. I create content for you on different channels, and I wanted to put more emphasis into my projects, my side hustles, and courses and coaching for teachers. So having the students that I had was really enough. So recently, this was sort of towards the end of last year, so December coming into January, I had a couple students suspend their classes with me, which was completely fine and normal and anticipated. And then we went into Chinese New Year, and lots of students took a break or, whatever, stopped taking classes for a little while. But since the start of the new year, I have had a total of 5 students either not renew their packages or take an extended break and sort of lose contact with me. And this is something that I wanted to bring up today because I'm now in a position of needing to market. I need to get more students into my teaching business so that I can bring them back up to the number that I had before. So I currently have 10 students that are actively in contracts, but I've had 5 that have either not renewed or who have lost contact with me and maybe have a few classes left. But I think that only accounts for 1 student in particular. So I've had 4 students not renew their packages with me. When the first student didn't renew, I thought that, okay, that's fine. That's just something that happens and has happened in my business before. And then another one didn't renew, and then another one, and then another one. And it's caused me to do a little bit of self-reflection and to think about why this might be happening. I think it's important to not say, well, while this might just be, the natural course of things, it could be something within my classes. And so I've been taking some steps to reflect on my classes, on the activities that I'm using, the approach that I'm using, and what I'm offering to the students and their parents. Because most of my students have been with me for almost 2 years, I'm not too surprised that they are not renewing their packages, because many of them are getting older, they're in middle school, life is busier, and they might be prioritizing other things over English classes, and that's totally fine. That's the natural course that I sort of expected when I started with such a huge batch of students. I didn't expect to have 15 students forever. However, I'm not sure that I did the best job of putting things into place to funnel new students into my business. So that's what I'm working on right now. But before I get to that, I wanted to reflect on, looking inward and looking at your own classes to think about why it might be happening. So I'm looking at the curriculum that I'm using, and are there other things that I could be doing in the classes to increase engagement and excitement and enjoyment of my classes? I'm also going to be asking all of those parents specifically why, they're not renewing. I know for a few of them reasons why, but I'd like to dig a little bit deeper. If you're working with Chinese parents, you may not get direct answers as to why they're not going to purchase another group of classes with you. It's generally that saving face kind of approach, and they're going to often come up with other excuses like their child is very busy, which might be true, but it also might be a way for them to not have to sort of tell the truth as to why, they're not happy with your classes, or they're dissatisfied with something, or they want something else, but they're too afraid to ask you. So I'm going to be working on that, digging a little bit deeper and finding out exactly what they're looking for in their classes. Of course, like I said, just they're getting busier, and so that could be a reason. It could be that, you're not providing what they were expecting, and so there's a misalignment when they purchase their classes as to what you're providing in your classes versus what they were expecting. So it goes back to asking them and finding out. So that's what I'm going to be working on. So let's talk about what I'm going to be doing to get some new students into my teaching business. So I'm very fortunate to have a lot of WeChat contacts from previous companies that I worked for, from working in China before, and from my current students. So I'm going to start there. I'm going to go into WeChat and do some direct marketing on my WeChat moments and see how that goes. The other thing I'm going to be doing is asking existing students to recommend me. And while this has happened organically in the past, I really believe that I'm at a point where I need to explicitly ask, and so I'm going to be creating some referral type images inside of Canva. I'll show you what those look like, and I'm going to be asking parents that are existing students, or even some of my former ones that have stopped classes, to recommend me to their friends. And I'm going to make it really easy for them to do that, and I'm going to also incentivize them to do that as well. And let's go into the computer here to sort of look at what I might be creating to share on my moments. I want you to sort of see what I'm going to be sharing, and it might give you some ideas as well to share on your WeChat moments. So come on, let's have a look. Okay, so here we are in Canva, and I'm just making a square template. I've already put a few things here for sake of time, but I've got my logo down here, I have an arrow, and then I have a place for my QR code. I'm going to put my photo into one of these photo circles here, and I'm just going to move it so it looks good. There we go. And then I might say something, I'm going to add some text, obviously, that's going to help for them to know who I am. So I've got, hello, I'm Teacher Tim. And let's actually go in here and then type. So I'm going to say, I can help your child gain confidence in English. Now I'm going to make this a different color, and I'm going to make it much smaller, and I'm going to, there we go, in English while having fun. I'm just using an example here. So let me copy that, and then I'm going to go into here, and I'm going to say, get in touch with me on WeChat, and let's have a trial class. Okay, very simple. Remember, most of these people probably already know me because they're existing contacts. So it's I don't have to say too much. Now I'm going to also add my QR code here. I need to make this much smaller, and then I'm going to put it right here. You can get your QR code right inside of your WeChat app, and then just share it to your computer. So that's an example for my WeChat moments. I could also share things from my classes, and I've got some examples here of other images, that you could share with your students if they are maybe new students that don't know you very well, or existing students as well. So, it works for everybody. Word of the week, gigantic. I can also then just drop my QR code right into here like that. That looks perfect. Remember, by putting your QR code on the image, if a parent shares that image outside of WeChat to their contacts, which I'm going to ask them to do, then that is going to bring people immediately right back into your WeChat because this is your profile. So it makes it really easy for parents to get in touch with you. Student of the week, I'm going to choose one student of the week. Let's say I go with Damon, and then I'm going to, just change this. Good job, Damon. And I might even put his picture and ask his mom if I can do that, and then ask his mom to share that. I might share this. I think I'm going to share this inside my parent group, and then, ask Damon's mom to share that on her WeChat. So that's another great thing. Don't forget to put your QR code there. This is from Christmas that I made a while ago. You could change this to Chinese New Year, Valentine's Day, whatever, summer holidays, just anything that's going on that's good. So this is a good introductory image right here that I'm going to use for sure on my WeChat moments. And then, I might actually also share some of these on my WeChat moments as well. This one I might share with my existing students, and this one could be a moments post. Another image that I might create is something to do with my classes being open. So for those that have been previous students of mine with companies, letting them know that I'm now teaching online and creating an image with, just a few features of my classroom, which will entice them to say hello and comment and get in touch with me. Hope this is helpful. So those are the two main ways that I'm going to be, kind of putting myself out there within my WeChat contact community to advertise my classes and to hopefully get some more students. So I'll bring you along for the journey. I will update you on how this went and what those conversations looked like when I got new parents who were reaching out to me through direct messages. Well, it's important to know that with WeChat, it's a closed app. So when I'm sharing on my moments, I'm only reaching those existing contacts. But when I'm reaching out to existing contacts to share, that's when I'm growing my leads, I'm increasing exposure. But WeChat is not a place that we can market to a larger audience on. You would want to use an app like Xiaohongshu to do that. And I would really recommend this Facebook group in order to learn a little bit more about the Xiaohongshu app. Personally, I am not using Xiaohongshu at this point to reach out to a wider audience. I'm going to first start with my WeChat contacts and my existing students and also former students to recommend me. And I'm going to, as I showed you, incentivize them a little bit to do that. But if I were starting out, then I would recommend using an app like Xiaohongshu if you want to reach the Chinese market. If you're looking at reaching another market, then you're going to need to know where those students are hanging out. Is it on Facebook? Is it on Instagram? Is it TikTok? Is it something else? So you want to know who you're teaching, where they're hanging out, so that you can add value, answer questions, and build know, like, and trust with your potential students. So that's about it. My students are leaving me, but I'm hoping that more are going to come in. And as a business owner, this could apply to you with whoever your clients are. If they're other teachers, or if you're in another niche, or if you're marketing to a different type of student, then you always need to be thinking about how you're going to bring new leads into your business. This is a constant thing that should be front of mind for all entrepreneurs, teacherpreneurs, and people wanting to market their products and services to a wider audience. So that's it for now. If you are looking for a Facebook group to support you in this, I highly recommend, a little bit biased, my own, Going Solo Independent Teaching. You can find the link below in the description of this video. And also, if you want to get started in the Chinese market, I have this course right here, Launch Going Solo, where I've had about 400 teachers go through the course, and I would love to have you jump in as well if you're kind of needing to get those decisions made, the basic foundations of your business in place, and tons of tools and resources to help you get started. I believe in it. My former students have made great leaps and bounds with their own businesses after taking the course. So I do believe that it's going to really help you, especially in the Chinese market. So go ahead and grab that if you're looking for a course to support you. And if you have questions, comments, suggestions, use the comment area underneath this video, or you could reach out to me through email. All that information is in the description of this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.